So what a match that was, right? Barcelona have beaten Celta Vigo 3-2 with 2 goals coming from Lewandowski and a goal coming from Joao Cancelo. Everything did seem like Barcelona were going to be losing in this match and finish this game with a 2-0 loss, but Barcelona persevered. They did not give up. They continued to pressure Celta over and over again. And I think that the one thing that was going to take Celta off was that one goal. I think that Celta only needed to concede one goal and their performances and their confidence were going to drop. They only needed that one conceded goal, and that was it. Everything else fell apart, and that is why Barcelona were able to capitalize off of this and score a total of 3 goals. And oh my god, bro, like, I cannot believe that Barcelona have made the correct moves this summer. The efficiency coming from Joao Cancelo and Joao Felix, both of those players, right, has been so important. The way that they have improved this team has been amazing in my opinion. Because of those 2 players, Barcelona have been able to really do something well in La Liga and in the Champions League. So it's crazy to see how things have turned out for this club with signing Joao Cancelo and also Joao Felix. Now, just because Barcelona have beaten Celta Vigo 3-2, does that mean that Barcelona played well? No, they didn't. I think that in the first 70 minutes or first 75 minutes before the 2-1, Barcelona did not have a good game. Barcelona really looked like they were going to lose this match, and it was, I would say, unacceptable for Barcelona to play those first 45 minutes in the way that we saw them. They were playing very slow. They were very vulnerable in the counterattacks from Celta, and I think that there is a clear problem in Xavi Hernandez's system when he does not have the right players. So every time we formed the attack and we had a 2-3-5 formation, a formation that we have talked about before when we have Christensen and Koundé as our 2 center backs, and then our defensive midfielders being Joao Cancelo, Oriol Romeo, and Frenkie de Jong, when we have that, right, Celta Vigo were able to really punish us very hard on the flanks because of how narrow we were on the back side. This is one of the problems that do arise when you have a 2-3-5 formation, and Xavi Hernandez did not really have an answer for that. So Barcelona were really getting punished in the first 45 minutes especially, and we were losing 1-0, and we're like, oh my god. And even with the inclusion of Marcos Alonso, there was a real big problem. I don't think, in my opinion, Barcelona deserved to win this match, but they did what they could. Their individual brilliance from multiple players were able to pull them through. And I'm going to be also very honest. I know it's going to sound very surprising for me to say this, but I'm going to call it how it is. In the way that Barcelona have won today was very Real Madrid-like. Like, they were able to get away with a bad performance and score about 2 or 3 goals in the last 10 to 15 minutes. Like, it was one of those games. It is the way that Real Madrid win their games in the Champions League. So what Barcelona did not look like Barcelona. It looked much more like Real Madrid, and that is something that does not resonate with us very well. We want to be able to win multiple games, but in the way that Barcelona should be playing, like what we did in the 5-0 win against Antwerp and the 5-0 win against Real Betis. That is the Barcelona way, not conceding 2 goals and then finally performing in the last 10 to 15 minutes and scoring 3 goals. Like, yes, it's impressive that we were able to pull ourselves through and score 3 goals and gain the 3 points, but it's not the way that we should be approaching in every match. We cannot get comfortable playing like this. I felt like, right, in the first 45 minutes, the players experienced a withdrawal, right? A withdrawal from getting those back-to-back 5-0 wins. And I said before in the pre-match preview, peace will cost you strength. If you get comfortable off of those 5-0 wins and you think that you're the best in the world and you feel like you should be relaxing, that's not going to be the way. Because what we saw in the first 45 minutes and first 75 minutes, Barcelona looked very relaxed. They did not look alarmed. We were playing very slow football. Every time we tried to counterattack, we couldn't even counterattack because we were just so slow. We gave Celta Vigo time to regroup and get into their defensive shape. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, we have Joao Felix, we have a lot of pacey players, but we're unable to transition into the attack. Even Xavi Hernandez said this about a month ago. He said that the only real player that is able to dictate the attacking transition, it is Frenkie de Jong. But when I saw Joao Felix there and I saw other players like Lewandowski, sometimes Ferran Torres, we were moving the ball very slow. And it was a attitude problem in my opinion. It had nothing to do with their ability. But if they really wanted it, if they knew that they were losing 1-0, you would go on and attack with a lot of power. But they did not do that. If anything, they hold the ball back. Gundogan received the ball. He saw a lot of space in front of him, but he was like, okay, let me just hold the ball here. Let me pass it back to Koundé. And I'm like, what's going on here? Why are you giving time to Celta Vigo to go back into their defensive shape? So because of Oriol Romeo, he was the one that was able to stop like 2 shots from Celta Vigo that could have led towards Celta winning 2-0 or 3-0 before the 45th minute. He stopped 2 very important shots, and that should really tell you everything that on how Barcelona played in the first 45 minutes. Oriol Romeo was like the man of the match in the first half because of his 2 very important saves and how he was able to defend the box, because Celta Vigo saw the ball inside the opposition's box and in our own box a lot of times. So Xavi Hernandez needed to find a solution, right? We went into the second half and I'm like, okay, we need to find substitutions. We need to change our formation because the formation that we had, the 2-3-5 system, it wasn't really working against Celta. Celta was able to expose expose us on the flanks. And so Xavi made numerous substitutions, a lot. He knew that he got the starting 11 wrong, especially with the inclusion of Marcos Alonso. He needed more dribbling players who were able to enjoy the 1v1s, always testing the players on 1v1 situations. Xavi knew that, and so that is why he placed Lamine Yamal in, why he put Joao Felix in much more of a overlapping role instead of going interior. Sometimes he was going central, but he wanted him to find those 1v1s. So Joao Felix was much more decisive in the second half. We also saw Alejandro Balde come in for Marcos Alonso, right? Alejandro Balde was the one that was another player that was able to find the 1v1. Marcos Alonso did not provide a single thing, nothing. No great passes, no great dribblings, no great defending, nothing. So Alejandro Balde came in. Araujo also came in for Christensen, and then we also changed the formation. We went back to a 3-4-3, I would say, a 3-4-3 box with Cancelo and Gavi being the double pivot because Oriol Romeo came out, and then we had our high interiors being Joao Felix and Gundogan. Sometimes we saw Ferran Torres and Joao Felix shift positions. But you know, like at that point, I felt like Xavi was really trying to make up for what he did in the first 45 minutes, and he was trying to see what sticks and what doesn't stick, right? It was almost like Xavi was having a panic attack in the middle of the game. You know, Pep Guardiola does this also with Man City. Like when things are not going his way, he really likes to change the starting 11. He puts about 2 or 3 different players. He changes the formations and stuff of that nature. I guess we can say that that is what kind of defines a good coach, is you're able to find a solution very early and react quickly so you can find the win or extend your lead. But it was very alarming because we never really seen this happen before at Barcelona, and especially under Xavi Hernandez. So eventually we got to the last 20 minutes, and then Barcelona were able to find those 3 goals, and they were amazing goals, pure quality. We saw Joao Felix make a very Ronaldinho type of pass over the defense. Lewandowski receives the ball, he chips the ball over the goalkeeper, and Lewandowski makes it 2-1. Like I've said, Joao Felix really finds his inspiration from Ronaldinho and how Ronaldinho used to play. Then we saw Lewandowski find the second goal, and thanks to Joao Cancelo making those dribbles through the middle, finding that pass and making that pass through the middle, Lewandowski receives the ball and then he scores the goal, right? One of the main reasons why Barcelona were able to be much more dangerous in the last 20 minutes is because Xavi Hernandez ordered Joao Cancelo to be the main driver with the ball in the middle of the pitch, and Joao Cancelo executed that perfectly. And he also found that pass, like I've said, to Lewandowski. Lewandowski makes it 2-2. And then about 5 to 10 minutes later, we ended up with Gavi making a great pass to Joao Cancelo. Joao Cancelo receives the ball. It only took him like 1 touch and he scored the goal. And the whole stadium went crazy. And for those of you guys who were saying, you know, Gavi is trash, Gavi's only a player that likes to defend, he doesn't really do much, he's not good with the ball, well, there you have it, right? Gavi made that through pass, an amazing through pass to Joao Cancelo, and now you know the reason why Gavi is almost like a unbenchable player for Xavi Hernandez, is because he provides exactly what you need during a specific moment. Like those people that say that Gavi has no place at Barcelona and that he's going to be leaving in about 2 or 3 years, like those people, right? Those specific people that are talking trash about Gavi, if you were born 25 years earlier, you would have been the same person that said Xavi and Iniesta have no spot at Barcelona because they're physically too weak. Xavi should be going somewhere else. He should go to Arsenal, United, because Xavi cannot be very physical. We should sign some other player that's very physical, right? You're the exact same person that would say something like that because you don't see what these players do have and what they bring to Barcelona. And the same thing is going on with Gavi. Gavi brings exactly what Barcelona do need. And so Gavi overall had a great second half, I would say. And even by the end of this match, he was the one that created the most chances, which was a total of 4. Pretty good for someone who supposedly is not good with the ball, according to the people in the media. And he also won the most duels with a total of 7 in this match. And so going back to Joao Cancelo, right? So like I just think that he is the signing of the summer. It's the fact that he had a weak game and still was able to provide an assist and a goal with his quality. It's just it shows you just how great Cancelo could be in the future once he continues to refine his game under Xavi. The more minutes he has under Xavi, the better he will get. We're not even seeing 80% of what he could be yet. And so this was not the game that we wanted, but we must learn from this match. If we can learn from this game and see our mistakes, there should be no problem moving forward. We move on. We won the 3 points. Let's go into the next match. We will be playing away against Mallorca, and the game will be on Tuesday. A lot to look forward to. I expect Barcelona to improve on top of their mistakes individually and as a collective, because this is what Barcelona is, a team that strives to always be the best. So that is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.